So last week we had a Nintendo Direct, and this thing was stacked. This thing was huge. We had a lot of things going on, and I'm here with my buddies to talk about it because, wow, like we were just thrown a lot of interesting things from Nintendo. And, I want to just start off without like any pomp and circumstance. Let's just get right into the last thing that they talked about. And that is Ocarina of Time, the remake. That thing's been rumored for quite some time. And like Duff, Backpack, you guys saw the Direct as well. Let's talk about this. Like, what were your feelings on Ocarina of Time? I'll talk about my opinions a bit later on.
So it's nice. It's very nice. It's one of arguably the greatest game ever created. I've heard that said multiple times. Even people who don't necessarily agree with that say it's definitely top 3. And it looks pretty well done. And I just wish we could have seen a little more. You know what I mean? We got somebody speaking over a picture, and then we got a picture of a child that we are all pretty sure is Link. And then we got a year. I like the fact that it's coming out. I think that it's going to be great. I think it's going to do great. I just wish we would have gotten a little bit more to see. You know what I mean? That was really my only main takeaway of it. But I can't wait either. Even as like somebody who's not the biggest Zelda fan, I respect the property, and I really I can't wait to play it because I've never played it before. So it's going to be interesting.
I think this would have been huger of a reveal if, as you said, Raven, it hadn't been rumored at or speculated, or people saying, "Oh, it's coming," like they're working on it.
Same.
Because, I mean, if you have no idea this is coming, like, as you just said, Backpack, like, oh man, it's a remake of what's commonly considered one of the best games of all time, if not the best, and it's coming out in the next 6 months. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
But if you already know that, or if you already think you know that because you've been seeing rumors online, you probably want a little bit more, especially because I kind of feel that same way with Star Fox as well. Like, is Star Fox, is it just a remake of the N64 version, or is it like
pretty much
building upon that?
So.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And that's the thing, is I feel like, is this Ocarina of Time remake, like, how much of it is just the N64 one again versus how much of it is using it as a base and building upon it? Because I don't know if that's like a big, maybe I'm wrong because I'm not the biggest Zelda fan. I like Zelda, but
it's not a very big game.
Is
that what you were going to say?
Yeah, it's not that big of a, like, I think about it, it's presumably Nintendo's holiday launch title. And that kind of puts it in competition with, it puts it in competition against Grand Theft Auto in the realm of like a media attention and market focus.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if a remake of Ocarina of Time N64 is enough.
Especially when, hasn't this game already been remade before?
3DS.
So it's a remake of a remake with nothing showing exactly what outside of graphics. Of course, the graphics are going to be better. That's without a question. But outside of that, not really showing how this one differs from the original or the remake.
Now that we've said it, it's weird that it's both games that they did the 64 3D remake for that they're doing this year. Like,
yeah,
that is intriguing.
This year has really been the year of remakes. I think like the past few years.
Absolutely.
Like, it's been just a lot of remakes, remasters. Like, here's this thing you loved again. And
in media in general, because movies have been doing this for a long time. God. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I feel like it's now just like, I feel like gaming's now doing it too, just because they realize like, oh wait, we can still make money off that stuff. Oh yeah, we're making stuff too. We can do it. Like,
yeah, it's been a lot of that. Now, here's the thing for me, like, I'm not completely averse to it because like there's certain games where I see them coming back, and one of them I do want to talk about in a little bit. I definitely enjoy the remakes. I enjoy the remasters because there's certain games that I never got to play. At the same time, I'm still thinking like, okay, let's get some new stuff on the table, which for this direct, we definitely got some new stuff that I'm excited about, and I really want to dive into some of those things. But like for my opinion on Ocarina of Time, for me, I never played Ocarina of Time when I was a kid, so I don't have like that nostalgic sort of feeling about it. I'm not like Ocarina of Time. Like for me, it's more of a like you said, Backpack. Like I respect the IP. I respect the impact that game had on the gaming industry as a whole. Because think of a lot of the games that we've seen in the past few decades. A lot of them are based, loosely off of what Ocarina of Time did. The game was pivotal. The game absolutely was. So I give it its flowers. It gets my respect 100%. For me, I'm not incredibly hyped about it. Am I going to pick it up? Most likely, because I do love a good Zelda game. Going to be picking it up. Looking forward to it. But to your guys' point about that potentially being like a holiday game that has to contend with the likes of GTA 6. Yeah, I feel the hype and nostalgia for it can keep it held up to a degree. It's just a matter of the minutia, right? The tiny things that are going to make the game what it is. Like, how is it going to differentiate itself from the previous remakes, or rather previous remake and the original? Like, what are we going to get from this game that's going to be so substantial and different that we're like, okay, this game is amazing. This is the 2.0 of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. And that's what I wish they would have shown, at least a little bit. You know what I mean? It's going to sell. Let's be honest. Yeah. Regardless of what anyone says, this game is going to sell. But like what you were saying, if you know you have heavy competition coming down the pipeline, you got to make sure you put your best foot forward. You know what I mean? And if this game is just another remake, this game is going to attract hardcore fans initially. Well, every hardcore fan has played this game 4 times over already. Mm-hmm. And if the decision is a game I played 3 times already, or Grand Theft Auto 6, it's kind of already a wash. Whereas if they showed like, we put some new maps in, we made it a little bigger, we got this, we got that, then it's like, oh, okay. All right. I may still play Grand Theft Auto 6, but I'm absolutely picking this up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's a whole different deal now. It switches up the game. Whereas like now it's just kind of like, is it going to be good? Probably.
Yeah, most likely.
That's really all you can say.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? I genuinely believe that we're gonna get an Ocarina of Time specific Nintendo Direct come to like maybe September-ish or something like that. I feel like that's gonna happen because they've done it for, I believe it was Star Fox. They've done it for a number of different games. We're getting that for Splatoon Raiders as well. So like,
I thought they announced it for something else, but that's the one.
Yeah, like they've done it for quite a few, smaller and higher profile games. So we will most likely get more information on it, and I do hope that it can differentiate itself in some capacity from a lot of the other remakes that just kind of bring something back, but they don't do it in a way that is meaningful. Like with the Nintendo, I feel like they'll still be able to do something meaningful. Like I'm not really on the fence about that, but of course we just have to wait and see. We'll see what they do. Now, I did want to dive a little bit deeper into some of the other highlights.
I think it's very cool that Kingdom Hearts is coming to the Switch. I think that's awesome. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. It's my favorite franchise. And I think we were having a discussion about this yesterday. He was like, "Are you going to get it?" And I was like, "Dude, I already have it on my PlayStation twice, and I have it on computer." That being said, I'm still on the fence. You know what I mean? It's like I'm like wishy-washy back and forth on whether I'm going to get it or not. But it's like I'm that big of a fan, and it's probably going to come down to price. If it's like reasonably priced, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably still going to get it, even though I played it multiple times already. So I was very excited to see that. Another game I'm interested in picking up is the Final Fantasy like RPG style game. It looks really interesting. I've only played one Final Fantasy game in my entire life. It was 13. And it's funny because I've heard a lot of people say they really didn't like that game because of the fighting style. it was more like it wasn't like a hardcore turn-based. It was more loose, and I heard a lot of people didn't enjoy that. So I'm interested to play this to see if people like it, if I like it, if it would be interesting. So those two things kind of stood out to me.
Final Fantasy Resonance is going to be an interesting one for sure.
So Final Fantasy Resonance, that was one of the two like big standouts for me. Something I'm excited about picking up on Switch 2. Another one, Metaphor ReFantasio, which is it's essentially the Persona team's take on like a more traditional fantasy RPG. I've seen my roommate play that on the PlayStation 5. It looks really good, but I typically like to play my games handheld, so I'll definitely be picking that up on the Switch too when it comes out.
Yeah, a lot of people were hoping that ReFantasio would get put onto the Switch too, and I'm happy for him.
I'll be honest, those were like the big ones for me. I know people joke that if you didn't have something interesting for you out of this Direct, you must not be a fan of like 7 different franchises. And it was like, well, you wouldn't believe this. I mean,
funny you mentioned.
So the Splatoon, this might actually be a Splatoon game worth picking up for me because I'm not that much of a multiplayer gamer, but I think this one is more single player focused, so this might be one I actually can pick up and get something out of. I'm sorry, Fire Emblem fans. I was introduced to the series through Smash Bros. There's like 3 people and they all have 2 facial expressions and different hair colors. That's all Fire Emblem is. You can't convince me otherwise.
Where's that magenta? I know I dropped it. I know what's happening.
Sorry,
hold under my seat.
We kind of put the magenta on the back burner. We're like, we're going to go with maroon for this one.
Ooh.
Yeah. Speaking of Fortune's Weave, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, definitely looking forward to it. I wouldn't call myself like the biggest Fire Emblem fan, but I do enjoy the series. Like I played 3 Houses, and 3 Houses was really fun. Edelgard for the win. And just really enjoyed my time playing that game. So looking forward to Fortune's Weave for sure. For me, with the Direct, there were quite a few things that stood out to me. I'm going to kind of go through them relatively quick. I don't want to belabor too many of them. But the big one for me, and I was wanting this for like years, is we're going to get Muramasa, the Demon Blade, on Switch 2. And I remember playing Muramasa, the Demon Blade back on the Wii, and I played the absolute garbage out of that game. And so to see it coming back, so hype. And it's also the version of the game that has like multiple characters, not just the original 2. Oh, it's going to be a lot of content that I've never touched before, so I'm really hyped for that. Then
very nice.
Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3 are getting Switch 2 upgrades. The one for number 1 already came out, so a lot of people have been enjoying that. And I'm really looking forward specifically to the upgrade for 3 because I loved that game so dang much. I'm probably going to do New Game Plus with the Switch 2 version, and I'm going to have a super fun time. They also showed off a new game for the Xenoblade series, Xenoblade Genesis. I feel like this is the start of something new. Sorry, I didn't do that. And it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty interesting. Backpack shaking his head at me right now.
I'm getting my ruler. I'm hitting those knuckles bad.
I will just say for international viewers, I understand that it's called Xenoblade Mega Drive in Europe and Japan.
What?
Instead of Xenoblade Genesis, Xenoblade Mega Drive. Like the Sega Genesis?
No.
They call it the Sega Mega Drive.
No. I don't approve. I disagree.
Duff, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, Xenoblade Genesis. That one looks pretty cool. I'd love to see what else is going on with that game. That one is definitely getting its own Direct. It's coming out next year, so they have a bit of time. I feel like we're going to see some information on it probably in January. That's what I'm thinking. I'm feeling January would be the time. And then they're maybe going to drop it maybe next holiday season or sometime in the middle or closer to the end of the year. That's just my assumption on that. Then,
that sounds good.
Also, Final Fantasy 14 is coming to the Switch.
That's right.
Which I had heard some rumors about that as well. And I was like, okay, that'd be kind of cool to play on Switch too. And I've kind of been wanting to just play the game in general anyway to see what it's all about. So looking forward to that for sure. Stellar Blade got put onto the Switch 2 as well. That was rumored and kind of leaked. That's going to be a fun one for sure. And then also a game that I was super addicted to for like 3 weeks straight. Pokemon Pokopia now has some DLC.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
it looks like so much fun. You can actually go underwater now. You can use a dive. I'm super looking forward to that. That's going to be
breathe underwater.
Bubbler
Oh my
Basin DLC, which I believe is coming out.
I think August 11th is when the first one drops.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm very much looking forward to August. And what's I find really funny is I think the last video I did on Pokopia was how to build a house underwater. So for anyone who's curious about how to get prepared, prepared for that DLC, go ahead, check that video out. But yeah, I'm really happy that they're doing this. And I kind of had a feeling that they would, just based off of the mechanics of the game when you're underwater. So I was like, they could probably do dive or something later on. And then lo and behold.
I suspected it because I feel like Pokopia's been out for a while and this is early enough in the game. I don't think it's a big problem. When you meet Kyogre, for the first time he talks about, oh yeah, you should come check out the bottom of the sea at some point. I was like, okay, that's a hint that we'll be going there eventually.
That's a good one. That's a good point. Yeah. I completely glazed over that.
That's dope.
Yeah, well, it's probably hard to remember because you're just like, why is he a cowboy? Why are like half the legendary Pokemon cowboys?
Why is he a cowboy? Is the greatest question ever. Why? Wait, time out. Water, whatever. Why are you a cowboy? What is happening?
Yeah. Humanity's gone. Something horrible happened. Yep. That a lasso?
Those boots? Is this who you are? We're not around?
Boots as a fish. What's going on here? Very much looking forward to that. And whatever DLC they have coming up later on. Also, a smaller thing, but maybe big for like some people with Pokopia is with the recent update that they did a lot of quality of life things. So for the people who have been doing like incredibly huge builds, like myself, we now have more, we have the ability to power more things. Because originally there was a limit of, I think, like 500 and something, and then they doubled it. So now you can actually power a lot more stuff in the game or in whatever world you're inhabiting at the time.
I like that they're actually, this is going to sound kind of like a jab, but I like how they're actually doing good, consistent things for this game. If you know what I mean. Because they'll have certain games, they'll have actual Pokemon games where it's like, so are you going to do it where it actually works this time, or am I going to have to yell again? Where it's like this game, it already works pretty well, and then it's like, hey, we actually have good ideas. Don't play with my emotions. Do you actually have good ideas? Yeah, we're going to go underwater. It's going to be more power. It's going to be but seriously, it's like, I'm glad good things are happening with this game.
Absolutely.
I've seen people point out that, hey, look what happens when someone besides Game Freak gets to make a Pokemon game.
Okay, that's actually shots fired. That's actual. Raven, the horn. Yeah.
Listen, I wouldn't have fired the shots if raids worked in either Gen 8 or Gen 9.
You do your job, I don't talk crap. I'm just saying. That's how this works, actually.
I can only talk crap if you provided me the shit, Game Freak.
Exactly.
And then there was something else I wanted to mention, and this isn't like a super hyped moment for me, but it was cool enough for me to be like, I might try it out. And that's Warhammer coming to this.
Yeah.
I have a few friends who are like pretty big into Warhammer, so I was like, okay, what's this all about? Now I get the chance to actually try it out.
It's about a lot, Raven. It's I don't know what I did a month ago, but I started getting a lot of videos about Warhammer. It's about a lot. It's
I believe you.
It's very dense for millions of reasons. So I'm actually kind of excited about that too, just to be like, all right, it's someone's stalking me and making me want to play this. So I guess I'll fire it up, get a couple hours in.
But that's pretty much it for my highlights and so on. I think the only other thing I would want to mention, though, in regards to the Direct, is we got a taste of what's coming for the rest of the year. We don't have like a big holiday game yet. I don't think we don't.
No, we don't.
We don't have anything for like November.
Do you not think Zelda's the holiday game?
Well, I mean, it could be. It very well could be, but we don't have anything like locked down, is what I'm saying.
Fair, I get you. Okay.
Definitively, saying that it is. But one thing I actually do want to mention, though, about Ocarina of Time being this year, that is awesome. That is genuinely awesome because I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't want to have to wait for something like that. Like, especially if they haven't been following rumors or anything like this, and their first exposure to the knowledge of the game existing was the Direct. The fact that we're going to have a pretty decent turnover is awesome. So, good job on that, Nintendo. Like, really good job. And other than that, though, like, I think it was a pretty solid Direct. I really do. I think it was a top tier Direct. I genuinely got a lot from it that I feel was valuable. Like, a lot of games that I am looking forward to. For other people, it might be different. And speaking of which, I want to ask you guys, what were your opinions of the Direct? And did you find it to be good, great, not so great?
So I'll admit, I'm looking here at like the list of things that I was kind of hoping to see, not things that I had like heard any rumors or confirmation of, but just things that are like, oh, if they're coming soon or if they're happening at all, this might be a good time for Nintendo to bring them up. There is one that's based on a rumor. I guess I'll get that one out of the way first. There's been speculation of a new 2D Metroid either being a remake of Super Metroid or perhaps just a sequel to Dread. And I was kind of hoping that A, that was true, and 2, that we'd hear about it this week. Obviously, no, it didn't happen. I was kind of hoping this might be a good place for us to get more information about the new Mega Man game that's coming out next year, Dual Override. And just a lot of third-party things. Doom, the new Doom game coming to Switch 2. I think Switch 2 could run it. It's on the Steam Deck, so that'd be pretty cool. For Nintendo stuff, I'm kind of surprised we didn't hear anything about like content updates or DLC for Mario Kart World, because that was like the first like $80 game from Nintendo.
It almost like with what's been going on, it almost feels like they borderline abandoned that game because there's hasn't been much of anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I do agree with you on that heavily.
Yeah, they've done a few things here and there with like some new game modes and like new battle modes and stuff, which is it's cool, it's awesome. We haven't had anything that was huge, I'd say.
Right.
I know, like, one of the things is, I know there's some voice actors credited in Mario Kart World's credits that don't appear to actually voice characters in Mario Kart World, but these same actors are credited in Donkey Kong Bonanza. So I know people were thinking, oh, are these characters going to be added in at some point? And so far, here on out, has not yet been the case.
Yeah, so there may be something coming down the pike when it comes to Mario Kart World. It's just a matter of when are they going to actually say something? When are they going to actually show something off? It'd be kind of cool. And yeah, we definitely need a bit more because I've kind of stopped playing that. Like, it's fun. It's
a lot of us have
game, but I've kind of felt drawn to other things because like there's not too much going on in there right now. So it's like, don't really feel like playing it.
Mario, Sonic's eating your lunch. He's got Mega Man and Toph from Avatar in there.
Hold on, in Sonic Crossworlds?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well, I know what I'll be playing.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Sonic Crossworlds DLC has been insane. Have you seen the most recent crossover announcements?
I have not. Tell me more.
So the two next upcoming crossovers for Crossworlds, because that's what their DLC packs are going to be, Godzilla and Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
Props to them.
Yeah.
Oh, good work, Sega. So for you, Duff, I'm guessing the Direct was pretty solid then.
Yeah, pretty solid. Could have been worse, could have been better. Yeah, obviously there were a lot of games there for, again, fans of franchises that I'm not that big into, but, still, I'm not going to say, oh, this was a garbage Direct. Maybe not as one geared to me as others have been, but I think it's hard because you got to figure how much more exciting would some of these announcements have been without the rumors and speculation.
That's a very good point. I remember I had done my little prediction thing like 5 minutes before the Direct, and I posted that into a group chat we were in. And like most of those things there were just like, oh yeah, I heard about this and I heard about that. And yeah, we put that in here. And then lo and behold, there they are. At least some of
Yeah.
them, not all of them. But
Right.
some of these rumors do kind of take away. So for anyone who really wants to be super excited about Nintendo Directs or any sort of, marketing campaign that a company's doing, do not pay attention to rumors and leaks. Just be very, very careful on the internet as much as you can to avoid those things. But Backpack, I want to ask you now, man. Like, what was your opinion of the Direct?
So, Duff, you said you're not going to say it's a terrible Direct, and I agree. It wasn't a terrible Direct. It was not bad by definition. The fact of the matter is the Switch 2's been out for a year, and there's no 3D Mario, no Smash, and the Zelda they did bring is 30 years old. And I just feel like a lot of people come to the Nintendo Switch, come to Nintendo properties for primarily those games. You know what I mean? The stuff that they did bring, it was nice. It was okay. But, Kingdom Hearts, that's great. But most Kingdom Hearts fans aren't diehard Nintendo fans. So it's like, yeah, it's good, but, cool. Thanks. And it was kind of the way I was feeling for a lot of the third-party games. It was like, yeah, these are good, but a lot of the hardcore fans of those games played them on other systems. So the fact that you're bringing it here is nice. It's much appreciated, but it didn't really land as hard as some of the games. And again, I'm only speaking personally. It didn't really land as hard as some of the games that I bought this system for. You know what I mean? And I was just hoping at least one of those would have happened. And you were saying, like, it takes the wind out when things get spoiled. If someone said 2 months ago that a 3D Mario was coming out, cool. If it would have actually happened, my excitement would have been decreased by maybe 3 or 4%. Because it's still a 3D Mario, you know what I mean? I'm still crazy excited. Like, oh my God, finally. We've been waiting for this, man, since Odyssey. And like Odyssey came and it was phenomenal. There's no telling what they're going to do now that they have more power and better graphics and all that. So it was not bad. It was okay, but it was kind of like, okay, cool, it happened. Certain things were good. I mentioned before, certain games I actually plan on getting. But overall, it was just like, okay.
I think a large part of it is also going to be on, like, do you have other systems? Like,
Right.
if you don't have like a PlayStation or a PC that can play games, if this is the only way you're going to play these, yeah.
And I would assume you would be, yeah.
Yeah, and if there's, like, for example, a whole bunch of series in that were shown off that you're into those particular game series, then yeah, it'll be Christmas for you pretty much with that Direct. For me, it wasn't more of a Christmas. It was more of like a nice spring break. I'll say that. That's what it was for me. It was a solid one because, like, a lot of RPGs, and I'm big into RPGs. So the fact that those got shown off, that's why it really made it a good Direct for me. And of course, Xenoblade was present, so Xenoblade fan. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I totally get it. Like, if someone goes in and they see things from franchises that they're not really in alignment with, things that they don't necessarily have an affinity for, it's not going to be the greatest Direct for them. It's just going to be a series of commercials for things you don't really have much care for. It was fun talking with you guys about the Direct, and wanted to ask any social medias that you guys want to plug real quick. Where can people find you?
I guess if you want to be subjected to my awful opinions, I am at Duff McWhalen on Blue Sky. I post every few months, just some nonsense, and I vanish into the night. I don't really have that much of an online presence. I'm not a YouTuber like Raven. I just guest on his channel to give people migraines.
You're a Redditor. Okay. You could have just said that, bro. I'm on YouTube. Not much on right now, but I'm going to definitely up it in the next couple of months. BackPackGuy, capital B, capital P, capital G.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for me. I'm DJ Raviesta. The Rhinos are watching. Good night.